Wonderful. Well, it's my pleasure today to be talking to Daphna Nissenbaum, the co-founder and CEO of Tipa. Daphna, tell me about how you came to be a co-founder of the company.
Well, actually, the idea came from an argument with one of my kids. I had an argument about his water bottle. I just told him, sweetie, you cannot just throw your water bottle into the waste bin at school. You have to bring it back home, because we cannot just throw bottles wherever we want. We have to reuse, we have to refill, we have to recycle. This is something we have to take in consideration. And actually those kind of arguments I have all the time with my kids, or I hear around me arguments like this. And that day when I had the argument with him, I went out jogging. And I thought to myself, how come we work so hard for our waste? We think about it all the time. We think what we have to do, what we have to, how to separate, what to put, how to put, etc., etc. And I thought to myself that there must be another way to do that. And the first thing that I thought about was an orange peel or organic waste. So the idea was to create a package that is like an organic waste and treat our packages like organic waste. So if I throw an orange peel to the waste bin, I'm fine with it, right? So let's create a package that behaves the same. So I will throw the package into the organic waste bin, or just to a waste bin, and feel okay with this. No damage or no extra damage to the world. And this is how the core idea was created. But I'm not a plastic engineer, so I thought about creating a package that is flexible one, biodegradable one, which holds water, so water bags. Children can drink from it, or athletics, or adults can just drink from the plastic bag, and it's biodegradable, so they can throw it to the waste bin, and it's fine. But I'm not a plastic engineer, so then I met my partner, and together we established Tipa. We hired designers to work on cool designs for water bags for kids, for athletics, for other purposes as well. And at the same time, we hired bioplastic experts to find the right material for us to manufacture the same bags that we design. And 6 months afterwards, those two bioplastic experts came to us and said, well, there's no solution for what we want to do. I said, wait a minute, what do you mean there's no solution? I know there are biodegradable shopping bags, and I know there's a biodegradable bottle. How come there's no flexible packaging, biodegradable flexible packaging for water? And they said, well, there isn't. Come back in a few years, maybe we can do it then. So remember, I'm not a plastic engineer, so I decided, well, there's nothing like we cannot do, right? It seems too easy to me, so we started developing the material. And this is actually how Tipa started. And since we've started walking in this path, we deeply understood two things. First one was that it's not that easy, it ain't that easy. There's a big gap between bioplastic and regular plastic. That was the first thing. And the second thing, and maybe this is more important, we understood the size of the problem. We understood the lack of solutions for flexible packaging in terms of sustainability. And actually, the water bags that we designed in the beginning were just a drop in the ocean of the size or the problem itself. And this is how we started the company. And today we are 5.5 years after, and we're launching the first solution for flexible packaging, biodegradable flexible packaging, especially for the food industry.
That's wonderful. Can you tell us at all which market will be the first to see a Tipa package?
You mean in territory-wise?
Yes, yes.
We started our operation in the US. We found it the first market to start. together with the European market. So we are activating in those two markets in order to present our solutions to actually consumers that already seek for such solutions.
Well, that's a phenomenal achievement. You wanted to emulate an orange peel,
Right.
which took eons and eons and eons, and you've got here in 5.5 years.
Right.
So that's pretty good going.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. So tell me about flexible packaging, and there's not really any sustainable solution, is there?
No. Well, the food industry has been using plastic for a few decades to pack food. It's easy to use. It gives the consumers ease of life, easy to carry, keeps our food fresh, etc., etc. So we see plastic everywhere in the food industry, but actually only part of it can be recycled. And those are the rigid packages that are made out of one polymer, mainly PET. Those packages can be recycled. But once we have few polymers blended in flexible packaging or in other packaging, and flexible packaging in general, cannot be recycled or can hardly be recycled. And therefore there are no sustainable solution for all those packages. Actually, flexible packaging mainly ends life in landfills, being buried in landfills. There are some territories who incinerate the waste, but anyway, those two solutions, landfills and incineration, are the worst solution in terms of sustainability. So there actually while there is a good solution for the rigid packages, there's no solution for flexible packaging.
You know, it's almost an unreasonable burden to put on flexible packaging to ask for it to be recycled, because one of the big benefits of flexible packaging is it's source reduced from the start,
Right.
which means that you just don't have very much to recycle. But you mentioned food waste, and there's a trend, particularly in the United States. If you see what's happening in New York, San Francisco, and Seattle, with major municipalities insisting that kitchen waste and food waste go to composting.
Right.
So there's really a co-development with Tipa's packaging, which is compostable, biodegradable, and the whole concept of composting and food waste. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Actually, food waste, kitchen waste, is 30% of our solid waste. It's a huge number. Kitchen waste is everywhere, and it's going to stay here. We're not going to get rid of kitchen waste. It's always going to be here. And it's one of the major problems of solid waste. So we have to take care of our kitchen waste, because it ain't going to go anywhere. So we have to build an infrastructure. The best infrastructure for kitchen waste is compost, because in compost, once the kitchen waste reaches compost, it actually decomposes within 6 months. That's the regulation. Nothing remains from it except fertilizer, which can be then used to fertilize the fields again. Same thing with Tipa's solutions. We can treat Tipa's materials and Tipa's packages as kitchen waste, put it in compost. It will decompose the same way as orange peel, as an apple, within 6 months, and will become fertilizer and part of this natural recycling system that nature has created. So this is why compost is so important, not because of Tipa's materials, not because of Tipa's solutions, because of kitchen waste. And we just integrate to the same system that the world has to create, or just as you said, started creating.
Because that's the huge challenge with any of the laminates, you know, carton packaging or any source reduced packaging, is the lack of infrastructure, but with the interest and the need to deal with kitchen waste.
Right.
The infrastructure will come. In New York, I believe each of the 5 boroughs right now has got places where people can take their kitchen waste to be recycled, and I believe it's going to be obligatory that restaurants and food service outlets deal with their kitchen waste.
Right.
That's terrific. Thank you for sharing that. Any further thoughts that you'd like to share on Tipa or your perspectives? Where do you see this going in the future?
Well, Tipa has started going in this journey, and as I said, we're launching the first generation of our products. We're aiming to bring solutions and maybe more developed solutions for more and more segments, food segments. We think that eventually biodegradable, compostable materials should be used for flexible packaging. And this way, just think about, instead of the piles of plastic that we create all the time, even if you don't see it, if it's in landfills, there are piles and piles of plastic. Just think about all the plastic that we use every day. Think about what we see in the supermarkets. All those tons of plastics will just disappear in a very good way. A way of taking those plastics and creating a fertilizer. We're just getting rid of all this plastic in a very good way. And this is how we can actually leave to the next generations a better, cleaner place to live in. And I think it's not an easy change. Okay, it's a change in terms of manufacturing, but the technology is here. It's very clear. It actually behaves like regular plastic in one hand, but at the other hand, on the end of life, after consumption, it just behaves like organic waste. So Tipa has actually managed to solve this dissonance between plastic and organic waste and create the same two properties in one package. And once we do that and we adopt it to all the segments, the food segments, we'll be on the right path to a cleaner place to live in.
It's a wonderful way that the story comes back to your son.
Right.
The world that he will inherit, his mother is helping to build. It's a beautiful story.
Right.
Any final messages, anything you would want to add?
I think that Tipa brings to the world, to our customers, actually, to the food brands, we bring holistic solution. Meaning we have developed the materials, we have developed the process, we have developed the know-how and the knowledge how to integrate our solutions smoothly into existing systems and into existing waste streams. The main message that I want to say today is just adopt the solution, and we can do it together and integrate it smoothly into the existing industry. And this is the big, I think, message that I want to pass to our potential customers. I guess this is it.
And the meaning of the word Tipa, I believe, is droplet.
Right.
So as natural as a droplet, that would be a good way to end. Some comments on that, the name?
Yeah. Well, the name actually came from, as I said in the beginning, we talked about water flexible packaging for water. But eventually we understood that those packages are only a droplet in the ocean, right? So the potential and the problem is much bigger, and the potential is much bigger. So this is just a small meaning behind the word, but the main thing is that's how we started, and that's how we're going to go to. And eventually we'll also do solutions for beverages and for water, as we dreamed in the beginning. And Tipa, it's easy to remember. Just remember, Tipa.
It's wonderful. Well, Daphna Nissenbaum, the co-founder and CEO of Tipa, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.